We all stumble from time to time in our lives, but our failures doesn't define us. Hello and welcome to Enjoy Life, Enjoy Yourself. Today it's the 29th of July 2023, and I'm Ingo Hampe. There are two kinds of failure. One is things doesn't work out as planned, stuff doesn't fall into place like we wish it would. And dealing with this is, well, it's also a painful experience, but how to deal with this is quite straightforward. It's like make a lessons learned and get back on the race, get back on the horse. It's like once you've been stuck in an elevator, and then it's better to get back into it and use the elevator again before it turns out into something bigger and you're unable to do that. But there's also another kind of failure. It's one that hit us really hard, that makes us question who we are and why bother at all. Does the work we do even matter? And to deal with this is much more complicated, like it's hitting us in our core. And let me explain what I mean by giving you an example of what happening to me. So in my artistic work, in my photography, there's always a time when I feel like, oh, I have to stop doing what I do. I somehow plateaued and I'm looking for new ways how to develop further. And this year, a few months ago, this happened again to me. I'm working with models for more than 5 years now, and I think what I do is kind of a fashion portrait thing, something in between that. And I was quite happy with what I'm doing, but I felt like, that this doesn't go anywhere anymore. It doesn't provide me with a challenge. It doesn't gives me the energy I need to continue this. And so I said to myself, okay, I have to, knowing that this would happen from time to time. I said to myself, okay, I have to stop this, and I have to think about what I really want. What's the purpose of my work? Where am I going to go? And why does it matter what I'm doing? Because I felt like I'm only producing beautiful images, and that wasn't satisfying me anymore. And knowing the stages of grief helps me in hindsight to understand the process, because what happened after that is, well, there was another model and there was another shooting, and I could try to do something different. Maybe I do something more nude shoots, or stay in this genre of model shoots, which I was basically unhappy with. So there was this stage of denial, and with it there comes the stage of anger, where I become very hard with myself and everybody around me, and things could upset me very easily. Mostly I could explode out of the blue for little things, even in my relationship. That wasn't a nice thing, and wasn't very fair to everybody. And then there comes the next stage, which is bargain. So what happens? What if I publish my pictures in magazines and send them to awards? So I'm trying to find a way of how can I continue what I'm doing, although the main issue isn't resolved. And yeah, well, that's where I'm standing right now. So I will head into the depression, hopefully not that long, and that will lead me to the acceptance, and it will lead me to something where I can grow. So just knowing that there's a process behind all this, and also that if there's a failure, that we can have a lesson, and sometimes it's a life lesson in this what we experience, is a good thing. And but what's more important, and even if we enter in this phase and it feels like, well, we never see the light at the end of the tunnel, and there's no guarantee that we will get out of this alive, I think there are also things that can help us going through this, and the one thing is to live it all, to live these emotions that we are going through, but in a way that it's not that it doesn't do too much harm to ourselves and the people around us. And music always helped me going through this. So lately I discovered Bruce Springsteen and his first album, but also his later work, The Darkness at the Edge of the Town. So it's something I could really get into it, involve myself into it. It creates a space where I can somehow experience all this painful emotions, but also feel like in a safe place. So a little bit cuddled, a little bit hugged, and feel like I have company in this. There's something that will guide me through this and help me to get through this. So music could be something that is very helpful. Creating art, of course, is helpful too. But if you're in an artistic struggle and you are creating art, it might be double hard on this. So what I realized in this last sessions that I did with models, that I become better and better in telling stories and creating pictures that tell a story, something that I always aspired to do. So that is, and they become darker in their mood, and I think that's also something that I really like, and what I would like to continue. But in the same, it is kind of reflection that I'm doing the same over and over again, and I'm in a circle, and this is not going to help me to get out of this. But having this time to reflect, and also having a time to be very aware of how it feels to create and to take pictures, and acknowledging so that is something that I really love to do. I really want to do this. And I will not give up on this, because if I give up on this, I will give up on myself. And no matter how hard it is, no, that's not what's going to happen. So this is my story, and I try to put it somehow in a little bit context to broaden the insides of it, and not make it a story about myself. And I think, or I hope at least, this might be helpful for you. Please let me know. And thank you for listening. Bye-bye. Until the next time.